up? You welcome to Singer, and I'd like to welcome you to the Hood on Lock. What's up? What's up? What's good with everybody? And as always, I'd like to welcome you to the Hood on Lock. I'm your host, Sensio Official. And look, y'all, I got a couple of topics I want to discuss today. From the title, you could tell we're definitely going to discuss Straight Drop turning himself in behind Young Dolph murder. But I also want to speak on George Floyd's niece being shot and what they're saying was a targeted situation. Also, we're going to discuss the two men who killed Arbery receiving their life sentences, two without parole, one with. Let me see where I want to start with this. And as always, I like to show love to those that tapped in with me first. Salute to my nigga James Hudson in the motherfucking building. What's good with you, James? Appreciate you tapping in, folks. Y'all know I gotta spark my blunt before I get started. You already know. All right, believe first, we're gonna go ahead and tap in and find out what's going on with the two men and their conviction in the Arbery case. You know, they killed that man in cold murder. They felt a sense of entitlement. They reacted. They killed him. And now, just like everybody else, they got to pay. What's good, Big L? Appreciate you tapping in, folks. Let's get into this content, though.
That said, with regard to the sentence in this case, as to Travis McMichael, Mr. McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, is vacated by operation of law. Count 3, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 4, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 5, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 6, aggravated assault, merges into count 1. Count 7, aggravated assault. The court sentences the defendant to 20 years consecutive to count 1. Count 8, false imprisonment, merges into count 1. Count 9, attempted false imprisonment, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20. Greg
McMichael, damn, life plus 20. God damn.
Count 1, malice murder. Defendant was found not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. Life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder. Vacated. When I say vacated, it's vacated by operation of law in all cases. I'm not going to repeat it. Count 4, vacated. Count 5, vacated. Count 6 merges into count 2. Count 7, aggravated assault, 20 years consecutive to count 2. Count 8, 10 years concurrent to count 7. Count 9, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20 years. Roddy Bryan, I do want to separate a little bit.
So two got life plus 20, y'all.
And despite the back and forth that Mr. Goff and I had during this case, I do want to point out a couple of things that he raised that I think are appropriate to raise with regard to the sentence. As far as the remorse, I think Roddy Bryan stands in very different shoes. It is obvious from the beginning that he questioned the tragedy that had occurred at the scene. It was on, I believe, I can't remember whose body cam, but the body cam, in fact, questioning whether or not what had occurred, and then took steps early in this process, I think, that demonstrated that he had grave concerns that what had occurred should not have occurred. And I think that does make Mr. Bryan's situation a little bit different. However, Mr. Bryan has been convicted of felony murder. And I do not believe it can be disputed based on the facts of this case that The verdict was an appropriate verdict based upon the evidence presented, at least. And when I say appropriate, what I mean is legal. Because I believe there's been some discussion about some differences between Mr. Bryan and the McMichaels. There may be some differences, but it does not change the fact that was it not for the fact that Mr. Bryan used his vehicle in a way to impede Mr. Arbery's course of travel, this may not have ever occurred, and that is sufficient for felony murder. He did cooperate with law enforcement. I will point out Mr. Goff 1710-1B. There's actually a case out of Chatham County that says it would not apply under the circumstances of this case. So the court recognizing Mr. Bryan's position is different. Again, Mr. Bryan was found not guilty on count 1 and count 2. The court sentences Mr. Bryan to life with the possibility of parole on count 3. Count 4 is vacated. Count 5 is vacated. Count 6, the defendant was found not guilty. Count 7 merges count 3. The defendant is sentenced to 10 years consecutive to count 3 on count 8 and 5 years concurrent with count 8. Both of those counts will be suspended sentences, which gives Mr. Bryan a life with the possibility of parole sentence. Those are the sentences, the court having pronounced sentence. First, with regard to Travis McMichael. Mr. McMichael, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury, and if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, and post-trial matters without cost to you. If you cannot
Hey,
afford a
y'all be sure to hit that like button for me one time. Appreciate you.
You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia for review. You are also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state is 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final. And just to be clear on the record, I'm going to go through the statement with regard to each defendant. So as to Gregory McMichael, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury. And if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, and post-trial matters without cost to you if you cannot afford a transcript. You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. You are also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state is 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final. And then finally, Mr. Bryan, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury. And if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, and post-trial matters without cost to you if you cannot afford a transcript. You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia for review. You're also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final.
So there we have it, you guys. I guess justice for Marbury. Arbery, my bad. 3 life sentences. The youngest one out of the 3 who did what they felt was the least. Only difference is he has the possibility of parole, where everybody else is pretty much fucked. What do y'all think about that? Are y'all happy with that verdict? They took this black man's life, or this man's life, period, unjustly, not under threat or any physical harm. Do y'all agree with the 3 life sentences? two without parole, and one with a possibility. What do y'all think about that verdict? And while I give you guys the response, I just want to give a shout out to all the female bloggers out there who, spend time with their kids, handle their business, find time to get online and do their show, but they don't stay on this bitch 24 hours a day either. So salute to the real mothers who know they still got a responsibility other than sitting online 24 hours a motherfucking day. That shit's fucking crazy. That's just a damn shame and some more shit. All right, let's go ahead and tap into the next topic. Let's go to George Floyd's niece. Now, I want to watch this for the first time with you guys. I could have listened to it and got the details beforehand, but again, some of the stories I want to be just as shocked or surprised as you guys. So we're gonna watch this together. And feel free to call in
Want to know the
or hit
most
the
common
StreamYard link to
mistake men?
come up and give your opinion. You feel me? That's what it's all about over here in the Hood on Lock. Let's go.
The niece, the late George Floyd, has been shot, and the father is saying it was a targeted attack. Let me give you some background to this very sad story. Let's put up a picture of this beautiful, beautiful princess. Her name is Ariana Delaney. Okay. George Floyd's 4-year-old great niece, Ariana Delaney, was shot at night while she was sleeping in what her father claimed was a targeted attack. Okay? The father is saying this was a targeted attack. Ariana was one of the 2 children and 4 adults who were sleeping inside of the second floor of their South Houston, Texas apartment when a shooter opened fire around 3 a.m. on New Year's Day. Ariana was sleeping in the front bedroom when gunfire broke out. She survived the attack and is recovering after an emergency surgery for a punctured lung and liver. She also suffered 3 broken ribs. She's in a lot of pain right now. My daughter jumped up and said, "Daddy, I've been hit." Imagine a 4-year-old child having to say that, even knowing what that phrase means. A 4-year-old little girl gets up and says, "Daddy, I've been hit." And I was shocked until I seen the blood and realized my 4-year-old daughter was really hit.
Wait. I know this little girl was shot by the title, but the way he breaks down the story, my nigga, just filled my heart with rage, my nigga. This little 4-year-old girl, I don't give a fuck who she's related to. New Year's or Christmas Eve, you niggas come up, spray the house and hit her, puncture wound, puncture lung. I think they said something else was punctured. Broken ribs. Hey man, like the streets gotta stand up, man. Whoever did this, don't need to be arrested. Yes, you heard correctly. The person that shot George Floyd's niece does not need to be arrested. He needs to be what I call street justice. I'm not going to go into details of what that is because I don't want it to come back on me. But for those that know what street justice is. Some motherfuckers don't deserve a fair trial. Some motherfuckers don't deserve life imprisonment. If you can harm a little child, especially a 4-year-old, for any reason, any fucking reason, especially if it's not self-defense, you don't deserve no fair trial, my nigga. You need to be, and I can't even say on the platform. I can't even fucking say what I want to say on this motherfucker. One, it's a crime, and two, I'm on live. I don't know about y'all, but it really hurts my soul when kids, especially as young as 10 and below, any kid to be honest with you, but the younger, the more anger, the more hurt a nigga be when I hear these stories. Yeah, I know it ain't nothing I could have did. I'm not Superman. But sometimes a nigga just wish it was something I could do. I wish I could prevent all these little kids from being hurt. Don't know kids, no kids, especially 4-year-old, deserve to be shot. I don't give a fuck who you is and what the cause is. There's no way I should keep being able to look up stories or have stories appear on my timeline of parents and strangers hurting our fucking kids. Like I said, whoever did this shit don't need to be arrested. The streets need to handle that. But that's just my opinion, my thought, my wishes. Take it how you want to. Let's finish listening to this fucked up ass story.
Ariana's father, Derek Delaney, told ABC 13 Houston. Let's put up another picture of this princess. Okay.
R.I.P. to, I mean, not
Now,
R.I.P.
there's another
Prayers to that
element to
princess.
this
My
story
bad. Prayers. She's not dead,
that is
y'all.
profound and
Prayers.
sickening.
My bad.
Mr. Delaney, father, is claiming that it was a targeted shooting, but did not elaborate. Why would my house get shot up?
Man, y'all hit
He
that
said.
motherfucking like button.
My
Let's
daughter
go.
doesn't know. I can't explain that to her. As the father, you're supposed to protect the kids. The family has accused the police
Exactly.
of a delayed response and said officials did not arrive until after 7 a.m. Now, wait a minute. What time did this happen?
Yeah, what time did it happen?
3 a.m.
4 hours later.
What time did the officials arrive? After 7 a.m. Okay?
Y'all hear this shit? Do y'all fucking hear this shit? This young girl was shot, and I'm pretty sure the ambulance might have got there faster, or maybe they transported her to the hospital. I don't know. But since when do gunshots ring off and the police don't arrive until 4 hours later? Y'all let me know. They seen the name, and I'm sure they knew the address. Shit, you ain't even got to call the police. Just gunshots alone, they gonna be there within 30 minutes or less. For sure. You're lucky if you get 30 minutes. So why is it that when Judge Floyd family is targeted, I like they don't know who the fuck they are, because they definitely do. A little girl was injured, assaulted, could have lost her life, and what we're hearing is the police arrived 4 hours later. Go steal a little 50-cent candy bar, 50-cent piece of candy out the store, and watch how fast the police arrived in. This shit is crazy.
It gets deeper. This delayed response, I mean, this is basically a non-response. 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. This so-called delayed response is so egregious that it is being investigated by the Houston police.
There we go. There we go. There might be an upside to this shit. There's no reason other than, personal vendetta. Like I said, that a little girl is harmed, could have lost her life due to gunfire. Police are contacted, and they didn't respond until 4 hours later. Salute to the police department as far as investigating this bullshit. You feel me? Yeah, this is the hood on lock, but you know, we can't really do too much to the police other than killing niggas. If we do anything other than that, and you taking a risk with that, like you're pretty much gonna get caught. So that's stupid. So I wouldn't advise anybody to do that. So as a street nigga, what other option do we have but to sit back and hope that they suffer the same fate that we suffer when they come and get us? So hopefully this internal investigation, I'm gonna definitely update you guys on this. Hopefully this investigation leads to some fires, some resignations, maybe some arrest. Like this shit is not fair, my nigga. It's not fucking fair. Again, George Floyd's niece is not no gangster. She's not a street. She's a little girl who's a citizen. So if she felt the need or they felt the need to use the police to protect them, as citizens, there's nothing wrong with that. The question is, where was they help? 4 hours later, whoever did this could have came back probably 100 times, if not more, and got the job done. Could you imagine being a citizen and knowing that if somebody tries to kill you, they don't show up? Now I'm starting to think the person that did it might have been a police officer. Let me throw that on you guys' head. Think about it. I've said before a few minutes ago, police never arrive this late to any kind of gunshot assault, especially on a kid. So this had to have been planned, strategized, or agreed upon. And to make sure that the person didn't get caught by showing up 4 hours later, it might have been a police officer that did it. What do you guys think? Feel free to call in. Feel free to hit the StreamYard link. Also, like I said, man, I'm not a conspiracy. I know I don't agree with that shit. And y'all also know I don't like, jackets on people without facts. But looking at such a long delay, this delay only would occur if you're trying to protect someone, especially your own. So I think this needs to be looked in even further. Not only why they delayed, but who were they protecting with this delay? Y'all know police is just like gangs. They envy, they despite people. They do try to get back. They don't look the other shoulder. They do not take the higher road. They lie. They plant stuff. They protect each other. They turn their cameras and audio on and off in situations where they know the DA or the people will want to know what happened. And the department still allows them to have an on and off switch. No one says nothing about this. But back to the topic. Not only do you guys need to investigate the delay, but why they delayed. Who was they delaying for? I'm going to jump out the roof and say, I believe the person that shot this little girl is a police officer or ex-police officer. But again, there's no facts in that. That's just my opinion. Let's continue to listen to this fucked up story.
Houston's police
Hit that
chief,
like button.
Troy Finner, said in a statement that an internal affairs investigation has been launched. This is quick. This is fast acknowledgement of an internal investigation. They say an internal investigation has been launched into the late response. There is no debate, not even from the police chief, that this response was not appropriate. The chief said, and I quote,
The Internal Affairs wants to investigate quickly on this situation, and the chief is holding responsibility and saying like there's no excuse for a 4 hour delay where there's shooting involved, especially when a little girl was hurt and injured and again could have lost her life. That little girl's an angel, she's a blessing, and she's a soldier because from what they're reporting at this time, she is still alive.
I am aware and have concerns regarding the delayed response time in this incident and have initiated an internal affairs investigation. Now, here's the other part of the narrative. So you have what Fox claiming to be a targeted attack. You have an extreme delay in response from 3 a.m. until after 7 a.m. the police get there. And Adriana in particular and her family were active in support of Black Lives Matter and the murder of Mr. George Floyd, the uncle. Adriana accompanied her family members to several Black Lives Matter protests following the killing of her uncle, George Floyd. 100% unacceptable. Unacceptable. There's a ruling by the US Supreme Court that basically says cops do not have the responsibility to protect individuals. It's basically what it says. In this situation, not only does it seem ironic that this family had bullets go through their home, the response of a
Hold on now. Based off what this reporter said, the police do not have a responsibility to protect, meaning they can choose to protect you or not. But last time I checked, they're taking our tax dollars and paying them to protect the citizens. So how the fuck can you pay them to do a job that they're not obligated or forced to do? See, that's that monkey wrench in the game that they throw. That's that bullshit. They should not be called police then, and taxpayers should not be paying their salary if their job isn't to protect. Because they damn sure ain't got no other job. They damn sure don't do shit else. So what the fuck are they getting paid for? Let me rewind that son. I want you guys to listen to what he said. They don't have to protect them, citizens. So what the fuck are they getting paid for?
Individuals. It's basically what it says. In this situation, not only does it the responsibility to protect by the US Supreme Court that basically says cops do not have the responsibility to protect individuals. It's basically what it says. In this situation, not only does it seem ironic that this family had bullets go through their home, the response
be sure to hit that like
of
button.
a delay, extreme delay by police compounds it. Attorney, what are your thoughts on this one?
It's tragic. I mean, the fact that this poor 4-year-old was shot like that, and thank goodness she survived. It does sound like it's targeted, and it's also very alarming, the delayed response. I imagine the paramedics came earlier, or maybe they drove her to the hospital. But the fact that the police didn't initiate an investigation, I mean, 4 hours is a long time to wait to collect evidence. Yeah. Thank goodness they did this internal investigation soon. That's what I feel like we've been advocating a lot on this show is like self-policing the police. So good for them for doing that. And is this an example of the fact that the police knew this was George Floyd's family and kind of was contributing to this target? Or is this discrimination? And is this how the police treat, maybe Black families in the area? I don't know, but whatever it is, I hope they get to the bottom of this, because there probably is inequity even in how police respond maybe to calls, 911 calls. perhaps they do it in a discriminatory way, and maybe they will find out with this.
Very well said.
Okay, you guys. So, what do you think about this? We have a 4-hour delay. Well-known family for Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, their uncle or great uncle. Police delayed. I don't think this was just a delay. I think they knew that this was going to occur, and they didn't want the person to do it to get caught. Other than that, what excuse could they have for this 4-hour delay? Oh, we were busy. Oh, we were on another case. Nah, miss me with that bullshit. I'm sparking up my other blunt, y'all. Give me a second. Y'all calling? Somebody call in or come up and let me know. Let me drop the stream y'all link in the chat, y'all. My bad. I forgot I had it in that motherfucker. The calling number is also at the bottom of the screen, man. Somebody call in and let me know what they think about this shit. I gave you guys my opinion. I want some of y'all opinions. So let me know. Tap in. Okay, see, when niggas gonna make me start doing this, I'm gonna start saying fuck this shit and just upload my content. Make the same amount of money I'm making now. I'm really been sitting back and it's like niggas watch me obviously because they either fuck with me or want to be entertained. And if you guys can't come up and interact and give your opinion and all that, then why do it? I could just upload the content and let the viewers comment under the video and interact that way. I ain't gotta sit on this motherfucker. Motherfuckers don't send no donations like that. So I really ain't got no reason to be on here like that. I could be making money doing other shit. So if all I'm asking is for interaction, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to get that. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this broadcast, and I'm gonna make a decision on if I want to continue to go live for you motherfuckers, or if I just want to just upload content and say fuck it. That's how I'm feeling right now. On to the next topic. Since we're speaking on police, I felt it was only right to show y'all a situation where a cop is going through as we speak. And the cop is being charged with planting drugs and evidence on people, I believe in over 20 different cases. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to get the fuck up off this motherfucker.
The drugs were there. I did not put the narcotics there.
First up, we head to Jackson County, Florida, for the trial of Zachary Wester. Former sheriff's deputy was charged with 67 counts of racketeering, fabricating evidence, false imprisonment, and possession of controlled substances. Wester's accused of planting drugs in a dozen vehicles during random traffic stops.
The substance appears to be an illegal narcotic. Do you know anything about that?
I do not. All of the drivers denied owning the drugs, but yet most were subsequently arrested.
You have the right to remain silent.
The arrest caused suspicion internally, and in 2018, Wester was suspended. 3 years later, the case went to trial. He pleaded not guilty to all charges.
This is a case about an abuse of an incredible power, about the abuse of the incredible trust that we all put, and we have to put, in law enforcement in a society.
The prosecution relied on the defendant's own body cam footage to help argue their case. Stephen Van, a convicted felon, had recently gotten out of jail when Wester supposedly found methamphetamine in his car.
I'm just trying to figure out how that stuff got in your car. You're going to go to jail today for possession of methamphetamine, okay? Oh, man. Dude, I'm serious, dude. Anything. What you want me to do, man?
Like the other drivers who testified, Van gave the officer.
And he heard the guy say that wasn't his drugs. What you want me to do? At that point, I'm pretty sure he probably turned him into a foreman. But again, that's just my personal opinion. But that's how it starts. What do you want me to do? But it's still wrong that this man is having drugs planted on him. And these are some of the people this officer planted drugs on.
Permission to search his car because he claims he had nothing to hide.
And I knew my truck was clean. I knew it was.
While the jury got to watch most of the traffic stops, some recordings had mysteriously disappeared.
Why in the world would that have been deleted?
I wish I knew that answer.
Ironically, body cam footage would become the strongest element in the prosecution's case, especially when it came to Teresa Odom.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
At first, the officer's polite.
What's good, Road Runner?
Anything the vehicle need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades, rocket launchers? Okay.
While Odom stands behind the vehicle, Wester begins his search. Notice as he prepares to put his gloves on, there's a small item in his left hand. Prosecutors argue that Wester is palming a small bag of meth, which he claims to find next to a spoon in the vehicle.
Miss Odom.
It is yogurt, sir.
Busted! You saw that shit?
How about this, sir?
And believe me, a lot of them do this shit. It ain't just him. A lot of pigs do this shit.
Now, the white small plastic baggie that was in that spoon that the deputy just showed you on this video, had you ever seen that before?
No, sir.
Was that in your car?
No, sir.
As far as motive, the prosecution claims the 28-year-old.
I checked this. This nigga so cold. He ain't planting drugs just on men. He planting that shit on women. This racist fuck. I ain't gonna even say racist because these are white people he doing it to too. But this fucked up ass pig, he definitely need his ass handed to him. This is why niggas shoot dirty ass cops. Motherfuckers just like this nigga we looking at. I take a good look at this motherfucker.
Officer was ambitious and wanted to move to narcotics as quickly as possible. Wester testified he never planted any drugs.
The drugs were there. I did not put.
Now, he did this shit because he wanted to be transferred to narcotics division fast. Now, if this motherfucker is planting drugs as a regular police officer, could you imagine the type of fuck shit and the type of shit he wouldn't have done as a narcotics detective or officer? He's already planting drugs as a regular fucking officer. Oh, he really would have been fucking niggas up. And because he would have been a narcotics detective or officer, they would have definitely gave him the benefit of the doubt. Just thank God this nigga's an idiot and his fucking body cam caught this shit.
The narcotics here.
And after 5 days and several witnesses, the jury was asked to render a verdict. If Wester's found guilty on all charges, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. After 7 hours, the jury returns with its verdict.
He could face life, you bitch ass nigga.
Secretary Tyler Wester, we the jury find as follows as to the counts charged and the information. Count 1, guilty of racketeering as charged.
The clerk went on to read the verdict on all 67 charges.
Count 7,
Damn.
guilty of official misconduct as charged.
Guilty.
In total, the crooked officer was found guilty on
Roadrunner said he
19
must have thought he
charges.
was a magician.
Count 9,
Hey, Roadrunner,
guilty
feel
of
free to
official
tap in
misconduct
via
as
phone or
charged.
stream or link, folks,
Count
if you want
10,
to.
guilty of official misconduct as charged.
Including misconduct in the arrests of Van and Teresa Odom. 11 of the 12 drivers filed civil lawsuits against Wester. In July 2021, he was sentenced to 12 and a half years in a state prison. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to A.
Salute to Court Cam A&E, y'all, for that footage. What do y'all think, man? He was facing life. He got 12.5 years for planting drugs on at least 8 or more people. Do y'all think that's enough time compared to what anybody else get for lesser shit? Or do y'all feel like he should have got a whole lot more than 12 and a half years? That's just crazy. Don't get me wrong, 12 years is a long ass time, but shit, any one of them damn people he's planting drugs on, they could end up getting a lot more time than that. Yeah, I think 12 and a half years is cool for what this pig did to people. Dope action, big fact said, I think it fits the crime. Okay, okay. You are aware that it was 8 to 12 people he had did this shit to. He was facing 67 counts or charges. I mean, 12.5 ain't bad, but I don't know, man. The way they do us, he probably should have got more, nigga, because you're a police officer. You're put in position of power, authority, and responsibility. And it's your job, which I don't believe no one can do, to be truthful and honest in 100% of the time, especially when it comes to your job as a police officer. I don't think humans are possible or able to be 100% truthful all the time. That's just being real. So to put a person in this position, you see time after time, these type of things always fucking happen. And it happens a lot more than what it is actually caught. There are people that's in prison right now for a long time because of the same fact. Motherfuckers planting drugs and doing shit all weird. What's good? I keep it realer 22. Does anybody else have an opinion on this 12.5 year judgment? Do anybody else feel like 12.5 is fair, not fair? What's good, Miss Howard? Appreciate you tapping in. Huh? My bad, Hood and chat, Miss Goldie. That's me, Hood. My bad. What you talking about, nigga? I don't know. I have no idea what you talking about. Audio crack. But yeah, officer plants drugs on us. He gets 12.5 years. I'm gonna ask one more time. Does anybody else feel like that's okay? That's enough time? Do y'all feel like it's not? For those who just tapped in, we just reviewed content of an officer going through trial facing 67 counts from illegal arrest. Oh, okay. Uh, from illegal arrest to planting drugs and narcotics on people and lying in police reports and in court. Do y'all feel like 12.5 is enough? Now, the final topic of the show, you guys, the final fucking topic. Straight Drop posted that Straight Drop posted that he's gonna turn himself in. Now we don't know. Now we don't know if it was him that actually posted it or if it was someone else that posted it. So the question is, do y'all believe he gonna turn himself in? Why is he hiding in the first place? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something for those that don't know. Oh, okay. My bad, audio. I just saw you calling, bro. Call back in. I just saw it. My bad. As soon as I hit answer, you hung up. What was I about to say? Straight drop. Now you know, I'm not saying he did it. That's not my job. I don't know. But for those that do know, when you shoot a gun, it leaves gunpowder and residue on your body and clothes. You guys don't find it odd that he waited this long to finally want to turn himself in? Now, as a street nigga, I know why. But why do y'all think he did it? What's good with you, audio crack?
What's going on?
What's good, folks? What you think about some of the topics of the night?
Hold on, let me turn my TV down right quick.
For sure, you good?
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that cop, my nigga, I don't know about that cop, dog. He should, every motherfucker he planted on, he should get a 10 piece for that.
That's what I'm saying, because you know most likely, and some of these were ex-felons and ex-drugs offenders. So you know that if they would have stuck with it, they probably would have got way more than that 12 he got.
So that was okay, so how many cases the nigga had though, my
The
nigga?
nigga had
I
between,
came in a little late.
they said between 8 to 20. I said 8 to 12 earlier, but I believe they said 8 to 20. But let's go to smaller number, 8 to 12, right? And
Right.
he was faced with 67 counts, and life imprisonment is what he was looking at. So he was looking at the long ride, but he ended up with 12.
Okay, so you know when they looking at the long ride, that means the nigga did a lot, my nigga.
Right, so you should at least got the 25, the minimum, but go ahead, audio.
Right. So since he a cop, you know they're gonna dumb that down.
Right.
So the nigga must have did way more than that. And they just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For a nigga, for the cop to get cracked, my nigga, he had to do just them 10 or 12, you said?
He got 12.5 on a life sentence, my nigga, and it was caught on his body cam, him planting evidence on multiple cases.
Man, come on, my nigga. You got to get at least a 10 piece for each of that because we don't know how much time niggas just served and locked up. All that just on the court on the case of this whole ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Now look, I've said
how
this.
Much time he did.
Now, audio, I've said this before too. I feel like because police are put in a position of power, authority, choosing your life or death, I feel like it should be stricter punishment when they break the rules, the laws, and things like that. Because think about it. How many people have we seen go to jail and get out 5, 10, 15, even 50 years later and come to find out they didn't do the crime? A check don't,
my nigga,
a check don't always fix everything, my nigga. A check don't always solve nothing. And I doubt
some of them niggas didn't even get no check, my nigga. Some of them niggas didn't even get paid.
Right. And then again, they decide on what the value of your life is, not you. You're not gonna pay me what I feel my life is worth. You're gonna say, okay, well, we want to give you this or nothing. Do you take it? Or you're gonna say, this is what we pay per year that you're incarcerated. Take it or leave it. I don't have an option of saying, oh well, my life is worth more than this a year. I want more. So not only are you dictating the value of my life, but you put in the position to take it. So if you are caught lying, planting drugs, or anything that's dishonest as an officer, I feel like you should have extreme punishment because you are put in a position to take away people's lives, family members, and everything else. What do you think about that? Do you think that they should have a stricter punishment because of the position that they're in, audio?
Yeah, let me speak on that. I'm going to have to agree with you on that because what they fail to remember is they work for us, my nigga. If you pay taxes, we pay them, my nigga. We paid the salary for them. So at the end of the day, if any nigga out here that got a job, I don't give a fuck if you got a Taco Bell job, some of them taxes that you pay, my nigga, when they come out your check, is to fund them. They work for us.
Even so when you buy a bag of chips, the taxes go to that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, however they divvy it up.
Right.
We pay for them, my nigga.
Right.
They work for us, my nigga. So at the end of the day, yes, I agree, my nigga. Yeah, they gotta be held a little bit more accountable because you're supposed to be a trained individual and you're supposed to have gotten all of this knowledge and training from.
Honesty is part of your job, audio crack.
I mean, you put your right hand up when you do that, my nigga. After when you get served in or whatever the fuck it is when you
sworn in.
You say all that.
Right.
Sworn in. You say all that.
So if you are caught lying on citizens, the people who you swore to protect, why do they always get the slap on the wrist? But let us be hungry and steal a cheeseburger. Oh, you gonna get all day.
And that's just how it been, my nigga. I don't even know how we can change that. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why they call it the blue line, my nigga. Like they like a real gang.
Hey, you ain't gotta be a drug dealer. You could be a drug user and get caught so many times with drugs and get the kind of time he got as a user, not a dealer, a nigga who just like to get high off of drugs. Come on, y'all.
The difference between.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. See the difference between the cops as a gang and niggas on the street is them niggas. The entity is so much bigger than the street entity that they gonna protect themselves. So if a cop was dirty, that's how I'm telling you, my nigga. I believe that this nigga done way more than 12.
But this can't be for the. Hey, you just proved the point that the police can't be for the people then. Because if they're more worried about if they're more worried about protecting themselves than the people, on top of that, we're paying them. Then what the fuck is we doing it for?
That's the problem. That's why everybody thinking about defunding the police. All that talk about defunding the police and shit was coming up because, my nigga, y'all doing more dirt than we are, my nigga. You got some police that's been niggas selling drugs for
right.
10, 15 years, nigga. No cap.
Right.
No cap. So you just like us. You niggas is just like us. I mean, these niggas got tats to their game. These niggas is for real, my nigga. If you really do some research and check that shit out, you'll find where them gangs, the LA gangs.
Oh, I already know, my nigga.
The LA gang cop. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right. I already know.
Nigga, you already know, nigga. They'll jack you up and put you in the alley, nigga. For real.
Drop you off in your enemy hood and all that old shit late night.
Well, my nigga, that shit in that movie, them movies ain't fake, nigga.
No, that shit really happened, niggas, man. Especially back in the day, they used to cuff you. How you thinking you was going to jail for some bullshit? And if they knew where you was from and who your enemies was, they would go take the cuffs off of you, leave you in the middle of their hood where they be hanging out at, let them know you there, and pull off. That's why it was in movies, because the shit was happening in real life.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Then it's facts, my nigga. Like, so at the end of the day, this shit been a problem, and this shit been. See, he just was. I believe he was overdoing it, my nigga. He was
trying to make. He said he was trying to make the narcotics department.
Man, nigga, you can't put no spoon on the old lady, my nigga.
Like, look, could you imagine if he would have made the narcotics department, my nigga, as a narcotics detective, my nigga? If he already planting drugs as a regular cop, oh shit! Imagine if he would have been a narcotics detective and tried to get a big bust. He'd have been planting bigger shit then. This shit wouldn't have stopped.
So my question is, where you get these drugs from, sir?
Hey, all you gotta do is watch a dope spot. As soon as the smoker leave, pull up on him like, hey, either you let me get this and I'll let you go. You know how I go. I could take this and let you go, or I could take this and you with me. What you gonna do?
And that just proves the point I'm making, my nigga. We know that. Depending on where you at, like, there's some filthy cops out here, my nigga, that'll get you gone for real for nothing.
Street nigga or not, if you ain't got no type of camera on your vehicle or yourself when you are dealing with these niggas, you setting yourself up for failure.
That's a must these days, my nigga. Hey, preach that, my nigga.
Even as a real street nigga, you got to when it comes to these niggas. And believe it ain't just drugs. They plant guns on niggas with bodies on it and all kind of shit.
All that.
And they don't always get caught. It's just the dumb ones.
You gotta protect yourself out here, my nigga. Whether you moving wrong or right, it just don't matter.
Now I know you came in towards the end of the show, audio crack, but a news reporter said that there's no constitutional law that says the police have to protect us. And in the content that I played earlier, George Floyd niece, 4 years old, house was shot up where she was hit and a bullet struck a lung and something else and broke her ribs. Thank God the little girl is set to survive and be okay. The police didn't arrive until 4 hours later. They called them at 3 when it happened. They arrived at 7, 4 hours later. Not only did Eternals Affairs quickly launch an investigation into this, but let's think about it. A well-known family who loved one was killed by a fucking cop is now serving time and shit. They also is a big part of the Black Lives Matter movement. The house was shot at. First of all, we know gunshots automatically police is there in 30 minutes or less. And I'm going to say way faster than that, but definitely it ain't going to take nobody no more than 30 minutes to get to you. The little girl was injured where she could have lost her life. That adds on to the emergency. And you telling me with all this going on, the police arrived 4 hours later. Not only do I believe that was planned, but I believe that the gunman probably was one of them. What do you think about that, audio?
Yeah, my nigga. Like, I mean, that can only make sense in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, y'all had to want this situation to be what it was, my nigga.
Right.
Just for 4 hours?
Right.
I mean, somebody wanted that to happen.
You and your girl can start arguing right now, nigga, and the police will be there in 5 to 10 minutes, if not faster, nigga, on an argument.
2 minutes, nigga.
Hey, y'all ain't even got to be the ones to call them. It could be the neighbors that called them on you. So you telling me a 4-year-old girl was shot, could have lost her life, and it took y'all 4 hours to get there? Even the police chief, who I think is black, his name sounded black, he ain't buying this shit.
See, you gotta understand when that call go over the radio about a child, my nigga, it's just like it's almost like a cop.
And look at how many officers had to be in on it. Hey, look, the order not to show up had to come from, not to cut you off, the order had to come from a higher up. Because you telling me when a call goes out and it's broadcast on every unit, every motorcycle cop, every undercover cop scanner, you telling me nobody came in 4 hours? Nobody?
Let me ask you this. Did you ever get a chance to hear the call, or nobody ever played that?
No, they didn't play the actual call or the response, but you do know when you call 911, that dispatcher either she didn't put the call out there, which means she didn't do her job, she did it on purpose, and she probably got an order from a higher up to not spread it out, or she did put the call out there, everybody saw the name, saw who it was, and ignored the shit. So either it starts with the 911 operator being told by a higher up not to react, or she did her job or he did their job and put it out there, and the higher up told the officers not to go check. And the only reason why you would not have the officers go is if it's one of yours, you trying to make sure don't get caught.
So the reason I bring that up is because if she, okay, let's go with A. Let's say she did put the call out. See, them niggas will switch channels on that motherfucker if the fix is in.
Not the cars. We up to date. We in 2021 audio.
No. I said, let's say, no, listen. I said, let's say the lady put the call out.
Right.
Like when she called, she did her job. Let's say she did her job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once the cop got to it, and they could switch that. I say that because they could switch. They switched them. Go to that other channel. And the fix is on if the fix is on. You see what I'm saying?
But I don't think. But how can you explain every cop being on a channel that's not the call? Like that don't make sense. I'm pretty sure it has to be set up some kind of way where the operator knows what channel to broadcast to. I'm pretty sure that there were other. Hold on. I'm pretty sure there were other calls that went out that night on the same channel that Floyd's niece call went out that night. They wasn't the only crime that night. I'm sure of. They're gonna have to explain a whole lot better than that audio.
No, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I'm just saying, whatever happened, the fix was on.
Right.
Because if the lady did put it out, like you said, it would be very, very hard for everybody on the force to shut that down and jump on another channel.
Right.
That's gonna be different. You You understand what I'm saying?
And the computers might be able to tell if they did what time they did it.
Now, the reason I'm throwing the scenarios out is because it was a problem. It was a 4 hours. So something happened.
Right.
What that? I don't know. But it could, you know what I'm saying? You right. This shit ain't.
Come on, a 4-year-old girl shot.
Whatever it was.
And nobody shows up.
They gonna be there in a minute. They gonna be there in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
They should be there in a minute. I say.
Right. So the fix is in, my nigga. We all can agree the fix is in.
Yeah.
The question is, what are they gonna do after that?
But and the other question is why? What would doing that to a 4-year-old? Why? Is her father connected?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest with you. From the way the story was broadcast, I don't think they purposely shot the girl. They did want to hit somebody. They shot the house up, and unfortunately, it hit the little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they actually knew. And then I believe the report said they was in a 2-story apartment.
But where is this gunfire coming from? From cops or just outside there?
No, just outside. They don't know who did it. That was my opinion when I said I believe it was one of theirs they're protecting due to the delay of them arriving.
No, that's crazy though, because it just don't make no sense.
Because once they get the car, right? Once they get there, they got to start blocking off sections. They got to start looking for the person that did it. So you got to make sure that if it's a cop, and I said if, you got to make sure that your friend has enough time to get past all your normal barriers and cells. See, police know how they run and structure this shit. So they know.
Now, if we gonna go with that, allegedly it was one of them, then I can understand what the rest of the story is. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if it was just some random niggas outside shooting, I'm lost. Because it's like, nigga, they ain't got nothing to do with that. Why wouldn't they save this young girl?
Right. Why would they not be there way faster than 4 fucking hours? Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why, and Audio Crack, I don't do the conspiracies, and I don't like to throw jackets where there's no proof, my nigga. That's how I rock. But as I sit back and think about this, there's no excuse for this delay other than if it was one of your own and you were trying to make sure they got away. There's no other excuse you can give us. Can you think of any audio?
That's all I can come up with, my nigga. That's all I can come up with because remember, this is a young kid, my nigga. This is a child. So at the end of the day, we protect the children, women and children, my nigga. So I'm not understanding why you would do that unless, like, you know what I'm saying? It gotta be something was going on where y'all niggas is out there on some other shit.
And there need to be an uproar with the people, y'all. And the reason why I say that because it could be any one of y'all. Y'all telling me that even if you're an adult, especially a kid is shot, you telling me that it's okay with your police department taking 4 hours to get there? The same way people was outraged with George Floyd's killing, they need to have that same energy with this shit. Because this shit is bigger than just a racist motherfucker shooting up the house. Nah. They delayed for a reason. I don't give a fuck what they say.
Yeah. You got an answer to that, my nigga. Y'all gonna have to come up publicly and explain that situation. But if it's no uproar and niggas like you don't put this out for niggas like us to understand or see it, then it just be on the low. Because I didn't hear nothing about this. I knew nothing about this, my nigga.
I heard about this story a few days ago, and I was gonna touch on it, but I was doing other shit. But I'm sitting back and like you just said, I don't see nobody else report on it, because bloggers, they only jump on stories when it's already blasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead.
It's about the money for them, my nigga. So let's just X them out the equation. If you're talking about the deaths, which I was a victim of myself, not knowing about YouTube, coming in, trying to figure something out, I had to sit back and say to myself, nigga, who? Because I was losing sleep. And like, you're not a detective. You don't really know what's going on. And I'm not that's just not really how I rock, so it bothers me. So that's why I had to let it go. So let's just, all of them X that out. We talking about niggas that's doing content.
Right.
Like daily shit. And it's really not many doing that. And that's really why niggas kind of rock with you. Because it's like, a lot of the stories that you put out, my nigga, no cap, is like, I ain't really hear about them. And it's probably because the nigga be on YouTube with the fuck shit. And sometimes you gotta get a peace of mind, my nigga. I'm just saying, because niggas is on YouTube, it's fuck shit. Let's be clear about it.
Right.
What I'm saying is, like, when you double back and you need a peace of mind and you can get some shit like this and have these kind of conversations, nigga, it just makes it more better. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. That's why I keep doing it, audio crack, because like I told you, that's why I keep doing it, because like I told you guys before, I see the number difference. I could get on here every day talk about bloggers and have a whole bunch of people on this motherfucker like I did in the beginning. I can sit on this motherfucker and talk about dead rappers and keep making up shit every day and get numbers. I see that, but that's not what I'm about. I'm about making sure people, regular people, not just celebrities, get their fair eyes and justice and the things that they need. Like, celebrities ain't the only people in this world that need our support and our attention. You see, motherfuckers who only report about celebrities only trying to get money, my nigga. I'm a hood reporter. I report on everything.
So much shit going around where I'm at, my nigga, and nobody, like somebody got shot and killed on the corner like a week ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the laundromat, and nope, nigga, I couldn't find it. I mean, I'm looking for it on the news. I'm literally looking for it, and I couldn't find it. All I found it on was one of them little apps where they got the little shit where shit happened in your neighborhood.
Right.
Somebody asked.
If it ain't a celebrity, if it's not, hey look, if it's not a celebrity, or if it's not, right, if it's not trending, or if it's not a celebrity, you're not gonna hear about it on the tube. It got to be already trending, meaning the mass news to put it out there, and everybody jumping on it, or it has to be a celebrity death. Other than that, y'all not getting no real content, man.
Say it again.
No, I was talking to my son real fast. But that's
how that little nigga doing? You doing all right?
Man, he fine. He on the game. He doing way better from that they said food. No, they said what he had, stomach flu. He had something, my nigga. He had real bad stomach shit. That nigga great though. He back to eating up. He back to eating up everything, begging for everything.
Okay,
He is known himself, yeah. But yeah though, it wasn't food poisoning. It was, they said something else. We thought it was food poisoning. They said it was a stomach flu or some shit like that. Anyway, what else I discussed before? Oh, straight drop. Do you believe that was him on his social media saying he gonna turn himself in on the Dolph murder? Or do you think, that's somebody that could have just been fucking around with people? Because why would he go to social media and say it if you really gonna turn yourself in, you or your lawyer or whoever would contact the police, right?
Honestly, my nigga, I just really been staying away from that, my nigga, because of all the other situations with Mo 3 and King Von and Hip Duck, all that shit, my nigga, just I just stopped really looking at that type of shit. Wow. I'm not gonna lie to you, my nigga. Like, it turned me off from doing it as a YouTuber at one time, and then watching it. It just turned me all the way off from that type of shit. It's like I just pray for the family and shit like that, my nigga. So I ain't really been keeping up with that type of shit, my nigga. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right. I appreciate that. For those that's watching, though, straight drop the man accused of killing Dolph. So either him or someone on the social media said that he was gonna turn himself in after being, missing for a couple of weeks. See, it was only a couple of days. The warrant was issued out for him, but the police was looking for him prior to the warrant. That's why they released it like that on the news and media, because they couldn't find him. Now, like I said earlier, if you use guns, you have gunpowder and residue can appear on your body. Even can go through your clothes in some cases and still end up on your skin. So again, I'm not saying he did it because I don't know, but that's definitely a reason why you would need more time to get yourself together. So now he has.
Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
So with the kid straight drop, right? I do remember them speaking to him early in the case, right?
Right.
And then I never heard nothing or whatever, right? So I stepped back. But how did the police end up finding out or figuring out that this was the kid that
they haven't released they haven't released that information yet. They just issued they just issued out the warrant. They're not saying now. The YouTube detectives say that he is they do got the same matching leg as one of the shooters. They got that. He got that. I don't know what you call his leg, but You could tell he got like something wrong with his foot. Well, they said straight drop got that same comparison. Now I'm unaware who.
Yeah, I remember they did that in Mode 3 case with the big dude. His leg. Come on, my nigga, like.
But
come on now.
The fact is, the police have not released how they tied him to it. But obviously, it's something because a judge issued a warrant for his arrest. They didn't say they wanted to talk to him. They didn't say they needed to speak with him. There's a warrant for the actual arrest. So they got something. They just haven't released it yet, which they're not gonna release it probably till at least the trial starts. But for them to issue out a warrant for his arrest, they got something on him. What you say?
Was it the feds that issued it?
TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, whatever that is.
Okay. Yeah, that's like the GBI, like it. That King Von shit, they had the GBI. It's like them niggas are like a subsection that really covers the murders within the department. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I guess TBI.
Now the thing is, for them to issue, like I said, an arrest warrant, not just I want to talk to him, but an actual arrest warrant, they gotta have something on this nigga. So, like I said before, is it really worth it now? Because niggas ain't getting away with murder no more. You just not.
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. You think, okay, now I heard that they had swept about 300 niggas up out there in some kind of sweep I had seen in Memphis. It was called something, and they swept. I'm figuring, shit, out of 300 niggas, you gonna get a nigga to tell you what's happening.
And you might even find the murder weapons.
And nigga, so you know what I'm saying? Out of 300 niggas, man. Now I seen that clip from Memphis News.
Right.
It was the real news, so I believe that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm figuring shit. A nigga,
well, we
definitely went in there and he was on some other shit and gave a nigga. They gave him a sweet deal. Nigga, he told it all or something.
Within the upcoming weeks and months, we're gonna definitely find out how they tied him to it. But still, even though he says he's gonna turn himself in, it hasn't happened yet. So they definitely at this point ain't gonna let nothing out the bag until at least he's cuffed. And we might not even know until trial.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So if a nigga get on his social media, regardless if he turn off his location, whatever, the feds can't figure out where this nigga at from his phone?
See?
You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga can't be hiding nowhere, my nigga. He ain't got no money. When you go on a run, you gotta have money.
Well, if this was a hit and you got paid, then you'll have some money to go hard.
But how much? Because, I mean, I get it, my nigga, but really, how much? 100 racks ain't nothing to run with.
Right, but
you can't get on the plane.
But a dumb nigga, but all you gotta realize a crash dummy don't know that.
No,
especially
okay,
a nigga.
So I get that, but what I'm saying is, nigga, you got it now. So we passed the part where nigga we know.
Now you can't go spin it or enjoy it.
Nigga, so my thing is, nigga.
What was the point?
Yeah, you're crash. That's the point. I mean, there's no point, my nigga.
Right. You about to go be a whole boyfriend somewhere, nigga, through folk. Ain't nobody gonna remember you.
Man.
I mean, they gonna remember Dolph, but they ain't gonna remember you after a couple of years, nigga. Yeah, you the nigga that killed Dolph, allegedly.
I'm pretty sure I put my last dollar on Dolph was sitting a lot of green dot. He got a couple relatives in prison. He got a couple niggas that he was looking out for in that prison, my nigga. So regardless, wherever he goes, it's a rap for him.
Oh yeah, you already know, my nigga. You already know.
Niggas just get the stripe off that.
Hey, but even if nothing happens to you inside, right? Just spending the rest of your life in that motherfucker is something that I don't wish on nobody. You feel me? Like, nigga, to spend your life in there forever, nigga. If that don't make you wake the fuck up, I don't know what will.
Man, it'd be too late by then, little my nigga. Be too late.
Exactly.
Now, if a nigga did something to me or my family, and he got
that's a different story.
In there, then I wish whatever on that nigga. Fuck.
Right.
I don't wish nothing like that on no nigga, but sometimes you gotta look at it different. Like, man, look, man, like that was some dumb shit.
Right.
Fuck you.
And I don't know why these young niggas or just niggas in general don't understand, my nigga. Getting away with murder is a hard thing to do. A small percentage of people do. Small percentage. Very small. And even then, they might get caught 20, 30 years later.
There's cameras everywhere.
Right, my nigga. So if it ain't self-defense, my nigga.
Ring doorbell.
Right, all that shit. So if it ain't self-defense, my nigga, kill a nigga over an argument or jealousy or a bitch, you're fucking stupid because you're gonna lose in the end. Yeah, he may be dead, but life in prison is not a good option or a good second place. I'm sorry. He's dead, but second place ain't good, my nigga, which is prison.
It's never been good. It ain't never been good.
I don't get it, my nigga. And I've said this time after time, nigga. You can get your point across, get the same enjoyment, and just putting hands on a nigga. You see what I'm saying? Beat a nigga up, and you.
It's not what it is. It's just not what it is when we grow up.
But you missing. But you missing the punishment though. You're not getting life. You know what I'm saying? In most cases, in that type of situation.
You gotta take in fact. You gotta take in that these niggas is high off. They ain't even doing real drugs. They doing fentanyl drugs. They doing shit that got them fucked up. Now I'm not giving them an excuse, but I'm watching it and I'm seeing it in real life. Right. I go outside. You see what I'm saying? So I'm seeing niggas on the corner, young niggas, wigged out, young ass niggas. So I'm like, God damn. So on top of you put 5 racks in a nigga's face and he wigging. Man, these niggas is crashing out like no tomorrow. And then look,
for change.
I'm a witness to this. A nigga waking up in jail, nigga, and he don't know what he did. I'm a witness to that. A nigga woke, a little young nigga woke up. He didn't know nothing he did. He was so high once he woke up, man, he done did all type of shit. See what I'm saying?
But that's your fault, like, though. You sit back getting that motherfucking high off whatever the hell you smoking. Even if the drugs made you do it, why the hell is you sitting there smoking this shit? You knew what the shit was gonna make you do. Most niggas, especially street niggas, they get high to go do this shit. So you know what it's gonna make you do.
That was my point, my nigga. That's the only way they can really go do what the fuck they peer pressure to do, because it's always the peer pressure.
Then you sober up and realize your whole life is fucking gone. Fucking idiot.
I mean, that shit happen every day. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It happens every day.
Yeah, but it's funny that niggas ain't wised up. Niggas ain't gotten smarter. Same dumb niggas.
I mean, these niggas ain't got. They acting like they ain't got nothing to live for. My nigga, I'm really not understanding it. I mean, like, I remember playing at the Boys and Girls Club, Challengers, and shit like that, and playing outside. Like, when I go by these schools and parks, these motherfuckers gated up like little mini prisons. You can't even go play ball no more and shit. We used to be out there playing ball all day.
Right.
Like, niggas ain't got shit to do, so they go straight to the drugs and the gang, and niggas be out here terrorizing shit, my nigga. It's in real time, real action, like, and they just throwing their life away, my nigga, not knowing, just not knowing, and they doing it for nothing.
Man, that shit is crazy, my nigga. Like I said, I try to preach to my niggas to wake up, homie. Like, life imprisonment. If you believe in God, heaven and hell, going to hell ain't worth it. Don't get me wrong. I was once that same dumbass nigga. I wasn't no crash dummy, but I was in them streets doing what I do at one point. So I get why we make that dumb mistake, but I got smarter and wiser. I just hope that you young niggas get smarter and wiser younger, because everybody don't get to walk away from these situations. Everybody don't have a happy ending. So why even go that route? And then now, like, right.
It ain't too many other niggas I can actually say that changed their life like I changed, like I feel like I changed mine. Like I feel like I changed mine. I say feel because I'm living like this, because I feel like I changed. I'm not doing the things I did, but it's still in me. It's still a part of me. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing that. But it's not too many niggas that I can really say that it's a lot of us that did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like the fortunate, my niggas, to figure it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like niggas that's sitting there telling us, oh, niggas is really trying to crash niggas out. You know what I'm saying? Like, older niggas be out here trying to really crash these young niggas out because they got some other situations going on this, you know, doing whatever they doing, and they trying to corner the market, using these young niggas to try to corner the market. When the young niggas don't even know what they doing, and they ain't getting no bag. The nigga that's having you do it, getting the bag. So it's like, really, niggas gotta wake up, but they gotta get off these drugs, my nigga. They gotta see more clear and shit. And that's why I respect what you're doing with your little boy, what you're showing him, because when you're showing him that shit, it's something different, and he can learn saying?
Right.
Like, that's why I respect that.
All right, appreciate that, folks. Yeah, man. Like I said, man. At the end of the day, man, as people, we all just gotta, man. We're in a different time. See, when y'all watch these movies and hear about these old gangster stories, because a lot of times that's what it is. You hear about your homies from back in the day, or your older homies, or what was going on. Understand there was no doorbell cameras then. Understand that there was no fucking camera on every stoplight on every block. Understand that even though there were always stores, all stores didn't have cameras on the outside. Understand in them times that you're glorifying that niggas actually live by the code and wouldn't speak no matter how much time
There was no
or fake they was
TV.
faking. Right. So
You see, TV is across the in Japan, nigga. That shit worldwide.
right. Now look. Now fast forward to today's time. Pay attention, young niggas. Doorbell cameras is catching niggas. Street light cameras is catching niggas. Restaurants and stores catching niggas. And some of the killers from your own set is telling on niggas.
90%.
Let's be real about it. Niggas do not want to do that long ride. Niggas rather battle it out in the streets than
cautious of them older niggas getting out that been doing that time, my nigga.
all that old shit.
Them the niggas that's coming out with the setup.
But it's definitely the young niggas though. The young niggas is telling. We all seen it.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, my nigga, these niggas getting out. You like, how you get out?
So look, if it's not in self-defense, y'all, my young niggas, my young girls, if it ain't in self-defense, just put hands on a nigga. Let's go back to the old way. Because at the end of the day, you're less likely to face a life charge. You're less likely to lose your life, whether you through death or jail. So, and you get your same point across. Whoop a nigga ass real good. They'll understand, leave you the fuck alone. Right. But at the end of the day, right. And at the end of the day, with a fight, you still can be with your woman. You can still be with your family and loved ones. You still can eat all this good food we got out here at all these different restaurants. You can still drive a car, get the car of your dream shit. You might even turn yourself into a millionaire. But you'll never fucking know if you take, you'll never fucking know if you lose your life to being a fucking crash dummy for the next nigga or for any amount of fucking money. And that's just a fact.
Crashing out for a nigga that don't even, a nigga that moved out the hood, he don't even want to do this shit no more. You crashed out for the nigga and you doing years and years, my nigga. He ain't even nigga live in the valley right now.
And they only gonna push, and they only gonna take care of you for so long, and then eventually the phone calls stop, visits stop, the money's on the books stop, and you're in jail. So a nigga can tell you fuck you all day because you ain't getting out.
Nigga.
You ain't got no money behind the walls to put a hit on a nigga, so what can you do?
And you think a nigga really want to talk to you after you know I sent you and you gonna be calling me, nigga? You gonna get tired of that and you gonna say something, nigga. He ain't gonna answer the phone no more. He's like, shit, it is what it is. What you gonna do? What can you do?
Somebody be fucking your baby mama or your wife. She be getting that new dick. She'll stop visiting you. She'll stop putting money on your books. You can't go to your mom or dad's funeral if they're still around. You can't be there to protect your daughter if somebody break inside the home or prevent your son from gangbanging and being a crash dummy like you. You motherfuckers need to sit back and really think about this shit. Because they not playing with us and they've made it even harder to get away with the shit that you niggas glorify. Go ahead, Audio Crack. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here, man. Go ahead and give your final thought on the topics, man.
Some good topics, some shit I ain't heard about. Now I know what's going on. I'm gonna try to go check some of that out, do a little research on that. I appreciate that, and that's about it. My niggas love all the time. You already know what it is.
Well,
it, my nigga.
All right, well, I definitely appreciate you calling in. You know, you always welcome, folks, and I'll let you next time.
All right, like that.
All right, Wes. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody rocking with me today. Miss Goldie, Audio Crack, Dope Action, Miss Howard. Road Runner, man, everybody, Big L, James, everybody that tapped in with me, I really appreciate y'all. Like I said, I need more interaction out of y'all. I need y'all to hit that like button and bang that bitch when I go live. I need y'all to share my shit to your social media. And if you can, hit that tip jar on your way out. But either way it go, I definitely still appreciate y'all support. But I am getting tired of the non-interaction to the point to where I might just go to upload and shit and say fuck the live. Or I might just go live on a different platform. I might try Twitch out and see if I can get the interaction over there. Either way it go, y'all, I'm doing it for y'all. All I'm asking is that you guys rock with me, fuck with me, and support me and what I do. I support y'all. My goal is to give back to y'all. And again, I can't do that without constant support and interaction. I am Sensei Official, and as always, I'd like to welcome you motherfuckers to the Hood on Lock. Y'all be safe, and I'll see y'all next time. And you niggas stop being motherfucking crash dummies. Peace. What's up? You rocking with King, and I'd like to welcome you to the Hood on Lock. King of content.